All right, so today we're gonna do something proper gi. We're gonna do some worm guard today. So we're gonna keep it super simple. The first part, we're gonna look at how we set up the basic worm guard. Like, there's loads of different types of worm type guards. We're gonna go for like the bulk standard, first ever worm guard. So we can set this up a number of different ways. A couple of weeks ago, we were looking at De La Riva. This is one of my favorite ways to get myself into this position. It allows me to get up, reach across, and start ripping this gi out whilst having a good control over my partner. Then we're gonna grab the end of the gi with both hands, and we're gonna start to stretch this out. If we need to, we can put the foot to the inside and we can just loosen up some of the gi at the back, just so that we've got more gi to play with. Now, to set this up, what we're gonna do is we're gonna look to put our heel onto our partner's hip and just curl our toes around. When we do the worm guard, we don't want our foot to be all the way through. We want this foot to be attached to our partner's hip. Then what I'm gonna look to do is take the gi that I've taken out. First part is to pass it underneath. We can actually set this up, if we're in the De La Riva as well, just by lassoing the gi. But if we're just in this front position, we're going to take the gi and pass it underneath the calf. As we pass it underneath the calf, we're going to set ourselves up, pass it underneath my leg, and pass it underneath his leg as well. So this is the first grip trade-off. As we sit up, we pass it under our leg, give it to the first hand, and we pull this as tight and as deep as we can. Then we're gonna switch, and we're gonna bring our right hand over, we're gonna go palm down, and you see how I create this little angle on my partner. Another key detail on this, which is gonna come more into play when we do the sweeps in a second, is keeping this knee over the top of my partner's knee. This is going to give me better control at the end, but also if I've got this knee too low now, it gives him the option to be able to start taking his knee over the top of my hip and starting to look to get some passing stuff for himself. So we want to have this knee over the top. And you can already see straight away how I'm getting rich off balance just with the pure control of this position, okay? So this is all I want you to do to start with, is just get yourself into the worm guard. If the gi isn't already out, we strip the gi out. And we're gonna grip it by trying to grip the whole thing. So we're not just gonna grip the lapel, so there's all of this like curtain sitting there. We're gonna try to grip the whole thing here, so it makes it into like a rope. Center yourself up and pull the gi out as far as it will go. If the gi's not really coming out because it's tight at the back, use your foot and just undress him at the back. When we're ready to go, we're gonna take our hand underneath our own leg. So swing, sit up, underneath our own leg, underneath his leg. So both legs are being covered. Then we're going to start to fall down to the side, reach in, try to make sure that it's a palm down grip. If it's a palm up grip at this point, he's going to be able to reach down, grab his own gi and just strip that out, take the gi out. So palm down grip for this first, like basic style worm guard, is going to be the best control for this position, okay? And then we're going to look at a couple of sweeps that we can do from here. So, one more time, we've managed to pull the gi out. Outside leg is going to sit up. Gi underneath my leg. Gi underneath his leg. Then we're going to start to fall out and create this angle. Grab my right hand. The gi's nice and tight, the rotation's really difficult for him, and I have good control. And also, make sure that your knee is over the top of his knee, or her knee. Okay, so let's look at the basic setup for worm guard, and then we'll look at a couple of basic sweeps. 1, 2, 3. All right, so let's look at the first of two sweeps that we're gonna look at today. So number one sweep. So still gonna get into the same position, gonna lift, underneath our own leg, underneath his leg, reach, grab with the right hand, and we're gonna drop down to our left hip here. So we don't really wanna be like flat in this position. This arm that we have here, we're gonna use that to come up onto our elbow and then up onto our hand. Come on, sweep, a little bit from your bench. So the first sweep that we're gonna do is gonna be a technical stand-up basically. We're just gonna take the leg that's to the back here, and we're gonna just take it out as we lift our hips up. Important that I have my knee over the top of his knee and my foot on his hip here so that I can use his body to help lift myself up. Oops, sorry, Rich, I'm off already there. So we don't want to have this like low and have no leverage on his body. We want to be over the top of his leg, and that leg pushing down into his quad is going to help to lift us up in the air. Once we've lifted ourselves up into the air, we're going to take that bottom leg out. Now, if we've already covered the knee, brilliant. If his knee is just poking through, we're going to need to deal with that. So we're going to take our hand, we're going to punch his leg down, just lift our hips slightly. You see how I've still got the grip though? So I'm keeping control of my partner. Once I'm over the top and I've cleared the knee, then we can start looking to come in and get the control and complete the sweep. If the knee's still to the inside and we can't get over the top of the knee, it's not the end of the world. He kind of just has that like single leg X position. We get the sweep points, we just won't get the pass points immediately off of it. So, get the control, sit up, pass underneath, pull down to the left hip, and come up to your elbow. Remember, knee over the top, so my leg is resting on the top of his legs. Use that to lift your hips off the floor, and you're going to take this leg, basically like you're doing a technical stand-up. This time I've managed to get rid of the knee. You bring it back inside. If the knee stayed inside, and I'm not able to push that leg through, you see he just has this single leg X position. Then we can just start going to our single leg X passes, okay? So one more time. Same position, sit up, pass under, make the grip, come up to our elbow, or up to your hand if you can. Use the weight on his legs, pull his leg out. If we can control and be over the top of the knee, perfect. And then we can settle in, get our control, and take the points. All right? So technical stand-up sweep from the worm guard. 1, 2, 3. All right, good. So the last sweep that we're going to do today is probably even easier than the last sweep, to be honest with you. A couple of you have been saying that this leg is too far back and you're not able to sit up and pass that underneath and fine. So use this second leg to bring that leg back in. Or you can put the De La Riva hook round and pull that leg back in towards. Just any way, so if you step back again with that leg. So if that leg is not in the zone for me to be able to pass under and get underneath, use this leg in any which way you can to try and pull that leg back in towards you. Then sit up and back into the position. So one of the problems with that first sweep is that he still has mobility in this leg. So when I try to go for the sweep, he steps back and I can't complete the sweep anymore because it creates a base. So we're just going to put in a real simple solution to that. We're going to move our hips round. So basically you see how my hips are on the front part of his leg at the moment. I'm going to move my hips round. I'm going to cover his leg. So just put your toes and wrap them around, not too low, so it's really easy for him to step over the top, but just around the top of the Achilles. So if he does try to step anywhere, we're able to cover that. Then we're going to do the same thing. Just basically move in this direction and pull ourselves up to the top position. Again, if I can keep that knee smashed in, great. Gives me the pass. Ooh, straight in. A nice arm triangle. So not a lot of difference. Pass under, grip. I've tried to go for the first one and he's basing and not allowing me to hit that sweep. So what I'll do is move my hips around slightly, cover his leg, and then just make sure that I push all my weight in, staying above the knee line, stay inside the knee if I can, and then through in for the pass. Super easy one. Try the first one with your partner stepping back, and then try this one to stop them from stepping back. Okay? Last one. 1, 2, 3. Let's do it.